So you got a 2004 Corvette and your fuel pump went out, or it's going out, and you're here. Well, guess what? Congratulations. You've made it here because you bought a 2004 C5 Corvette. And now you need to replace your fuel pump. And you just found out that yes, it is on top of the fuel tank, unlike the 97 to 03, which came with it on the bottom. Easy access, quick job, but not for you, pal. You got a 2004. So Chevrolet decided that you needed the C6 fuel system in your car before the C6 came out. They were gonna test it on you. So guess what? You gotta drop that tank, buddy. So this job is very doable without dropping the rear diff and transmission if you have a 6-speed manual car. If you have an automatic, there is no room to reach in between the tank and the transmission in order to do this job. It is very, very recommended. I recommend that you drop the rear diff. So if you're doing a clutch job or something, it's going to give you so much more room to do this, so that there's less errors, because there's going to be some errors, because that's just what Chevrolet wanted for you. Let me try to explain this as best as possible. Sorry if I don't. C5, C6 have two gas tanks. There's one on the driver's side, one on the passenger side. They're both behind the seats. That's why you should not drill into that backrest or whatever you want to call it, especially that hump, because there is a crossover tube in there. So what happens is when you fill up, the driver's side fills up first, it overflows through that crossover tube into the passenger side. As you're driving, the driver's side stays full because the passenger side is constantly siphoning over into that, because that's where the fuel pump actually is. The passenger side just has a siphon pump. Both have fuel level sensors. So for me, what happened is every time I would get to about a half a tank, my fuel gauge would just start acting erratic. So I knew automatically that was the left tank fuel level sensor that had gone. You cannot backdoor this. Do not cut through your trunk. It's not possible. The way the lines are set up, just do not do it. So of course you want to take that inner fender well off, the inner liner. There's about 7 screws that hold that in. I believe they're 7mm screws. There was one under my side skirt, had to loosen that up. There's one up top, make sure you get that. You'll see them once you try to get that loose. The evap line, there's just a little tab you press in on that, and you can use the fuel line removal tool if you want. The electrical connector for the fuel pump, loosen that up. Okay, so this is like one of the parts where you may end up breaking something, so just be careful. There's a black locking ring that you just have to snap out of place. So you need like a flat head or something to pry that out of the that little white piece right there, so you can turn the crossover tube to unlock it from the fuel tank. So yeah, I took my time using this. It was broken, of course. Somebody obviously had already did this, but it still worked. So yeah, just take your time, make sure you don't break it, but you just pretty much pop those little tabs out so that this whole little silver ring or whatever can unlock from that white piece.
So once that tab is popped out, slide out, turn this lefty loosey right tighty, of course, to the left, boom, and now this should be unlocked. And now I have to separate this from the gas tank. Yeah, keep working on it. I'm gonna take this shield off right now. I think these are 13. Let's see. Yeah, 13s. And then I'm gonna put a jack under here and lower this down slowly. I think there's another evap line up here too, and there's probably another plug somewhere, so I'll figure it out. 3 7mm. I took those off because I couldn't get this separated from right here. Took off this little ground, I think it was a 10 that was right here. Unplugged this, boom, got that loose. So then supported this with a jack and a piece of wood. When you're taking this crossover off, you're gonna struggle until you unhook it from here. But of course there's this little things in there, I'll explain that. And then there's an evap line on top, got that loose. So right now I'm about to drop it and hopefully get this new fuel filter pump.
I'm sorry I didn't film me removing this, but this U-shaped looking hose that's on the back of the tank is going into a line that's for the fuel pump, and you need to use a AC or fuel line removal or unclip tool to get that loose. At this point I was focusing on the fill tube really because I had to make sure that got down in there and out right. But you also want to focus on when removing this silver crossover tube. There's 2 lines that go through there into the tank, and there's some clips on those lines that you could break. So you want to be really, really careful when removing that crossover tube because you might have to buy new ones. I'll probably put that in the description of the video, the part number for that.
Boom. Here we are. I think I got one white ring I gotta find inside of that tube over there. But yeah, everything came down. I'm gonna clean the top of this off, and I spilled all the gas out this tank. I tried to siphon it, but the way that tube was set up, it wouldn't let me. I could have probably just turned the fuel pump on or something and got it out, but I didn't. So I'm just gonna do this until I get this clean, and then boom, pop it out.
So you want to clean off this dirt and debris on top of the tank because these late model C5s have a filter inside of the fuel pump, and if it sucks up that dirt, it'll easily get clogged. So you want to just remove that, blow some air on it, or wipe it off with a rag. And I highly suggest getting a fuel pump locking ring tool to remove that that black ring, as you can see, that keeps the fuel pump in. Once you get that off, you can go ahead and now remove the old fuel pump. It will be a really, really, really tight fit. Why, I'm not sure, but there's 2 lines, like I said, the ones that go into the tank. One's gonna be inside that little beige clip, and then the other one's gonna be where this was dripping from. You could easily just press the tab and release that.
All right, after a long fight with this part that came off, got stuck in here, pretty much just got some needles, pliers, and a flathead. Where's my flathead at? And just put it in here, boom. Use the needle nose on this part right here, or whatever you can grab, and just slowly break at it. Patience. Boom, got it out. There you go. You can definitely tell those contacts were worn out, but whatever. So now, probably even the harder part is I gotta get this one in there without breaking this. And with these lines. So this line right here clips into this clip, the one without the, what you call it on there. This goes onto that, and then of course that hooks up to the car. So I'll put this back in here and then line it up. All right, so boom, ran these in first. Make sure the T is upside down. Everything's in there. You're gonna have to fish these out. This is the only way to do it. I got this little grab tool, so I got this one on first. Boom, got that one in. So this one right here, this one clicks and this one clicks as well. There, as you can see, there's 2 tabs. push one down, boom, opens. So when you get it in there, just push it and it's locked in. So now I'm going to drop it down and hopefully we're good to go. Don't forget to replace your little ring. Put it on after you got this, what you call it, and just slide it up over here. Boom. Make sure it's in that little pocket. And now I'm gonna try to get this back on. Don't forget to run your wires before you put this back on, and run that back up. Also this, but yeah, I've got to get this on a piece of wood and a jack. My red tab came off because the little tabs broke off, but it's not coming off. It's on there, so let's do it. All right, so I got it back in on the block of wood. Boom. Make sure you get everything routed up here. I put this back on and I'm just lowering it, bringing it back up, trying to align this right, and then I'll go back to the other side over there. But yeah, boom. All right, that line is in. Now I just gotta make sure everything is seated in here right, and then bada bing bada boom. Hopefully yours line up. There, yep. Make sure all the seals are in there and everything. On the right. Orange things okay on this car. Do not want to do that again. Alright, so got these back on. Use the jar opener to seat and switch those back in. Something like that. Boom. Tighten it. I'm gonna take this off now. Put this black little thing back in here. Let's see if I can snap it back in. Got it back in. Just use a screwdriver and snap it right back into place. Now, this can't turn at all. It's seated. Good to go. I'm gonna fill it back up if I have any leaks, so we'll see. And yep. But still got a clutch swap. That's a whole nother video that I'm gonna do. I'll just do this one separate because there's only one. I had the battery unplugged, so I plugged it back in. Just gonna see real quick if it works. If it doesn't, I'm over it.
So of course it worked. It didn't the next time I turned it on, and I'm pretty sure it's because it needs to recalibrate. I need to fill the whole tank up, but I haven't finished my clutch swap. So I will get back to you guys on that. And thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.